Good morning everyone. In this video I'm going to analyze the live price action for EU and DXY to see what opportunities are available for today. You're going to see my strategy and my analysis, so if you're interested in those then please stick around. Alright, we're going to start off in the daily as always. Now what did the daily show? Well, yesterday on Wednesday we closed out as a bullish doji, another indecisive doji, but to be expected because it was a US bank holiday. So price didn't move much, so I'm not going to read into it completely. But maybe it's more signs of deceleration now that we've come up into this area in price. We'll see more on the lower time frame. We've started off today bearish. We still have our previous daily highs and lows intact, however. If we go over to DXY, we had those same bearish dojis showing possible signs of deceleration. But today now, we are quite bullish and we've already gone through the previous daily high. Now, of course, that may be affected by the bank holiday, but we've taken buy side liquidity, but we still look fairly bullish so far. So I'm not going to read into the daily much, but it's possible that we may go bearish from this area just by looking at price. But like I said, the lower time frame is going to give us a better picture. So let's go down to the 4 hour and see what that shows us. So onto the 4 hour, not much has changed since yesterday. Like I said, there wasn't a massive movement. So the range is still in place from the New York session into today. Obviously we're operating within our higher time frame bearish leg. We pulled back to this middle point equilibrium, took some liquidity and mitigated this imbalance. We've gone sideways overnight. We have our previous daily highs and lows here. Now currently we have our SMC divergence, right? With this candle to this candle high and this candle low to this candle low. Possible early signs, right, with this confluence of strength from EU. Now we don't know how temporary that strength is, but possible signs from it from this break in the divergence at the moment. Also, where this SMC is occurring, it happens to be at previous daily high buy side liquidity, right, and a 4 hour imbalance with an order block, I guess, just above that. So that builds a bit more of a picture, more resistance, right? Because buy side liquidity sponsorship will usually result in seeking out sell side liquidity. So we can see some sort of bearish move there. 4 hour imbalance pretty much mitigated fully is also resistance. And we have our SMC divergence possibly showing those early signs. Now the SMC divergence just may break, we may go down and see, but so far we've got 3 confluences there that may show some support somewhere around this area and some resistance around this area on DXY. Now be careful with this chart. Of course, this isn't moving live, I don't believe, at the moment on the 4 hour. So that's probably looking a bit more bullish right now than it's showing, given how EU is moving. So I don't think the 4 hours got loads to show currently. Like I said, it didn't move loads since yesterday. However, this will be some sort of internal range here. And we've gone sideways, failed to take the high of that range. So possibly we're creating some internal weak lows here to reach for some sell side liquidity after taking this buy side liquidity previous day. We're obviously going to have more resistance here once we take sell side liquidity if we do at this low, because we'll still be within this order block here. In any case, I'm not going to dwell too much on the 4 hour. It is what it is. There's no obvious bias from it for me at the moment. Working with pretty much the same as yesterday. We've mitigated this as buy side liquidity, and above these highs we may seek some more sell side liquidity. So let's go down to the 1 hour, see if that gives us a better picture for today. Back to structure on the 1 hour, we've got this internal bullish structure here. Now if we concentrate on what I mentioned a few videos ago, right, with the whole weak lows and weak highs and strong lows and whatnot, if this is our leg we're working within, we pulled back to the discount somewhat and had a bullish reaction from there. That bullish reaction did not take out this high. Now we're coming back bearish, which indicates to me that's a weak low. So I would assume price is actually going to head for the sell side liquidity below this low and probably maybe into this 1 hour order block I was looking for yesterday. So that is still a possible draw on price. That is in the discount of the bullish leg we're working with. And we can wait to see what price does structure wise down here. But firstly, we need to deal with today's price action just to see if we come for this sell side liquidity low And so far we have left behind a 1 hour order block above, just here as you can see, clear order block with imbalance. So is price going to come for this low before pulling back to this 1 hour order block, or will it pull back and then head for this low? Those are possible scenarios. We'll see what happens there, but this is possible resistance if we do pull back, and we can look for this area for some confluence and structure to head lower. I would imagine at this moment to go for this possible weak low here and this order block price draw. Now of course DXY is already above that high, which is adjacent to this low, so it's looking quite bullish. We obviously have that price draw that it looks to be heading towards and this imbalance. So I think they agree in that aspect. Having taken more buy side liquidity and gone into this imbalance, we could see a casual pullback just before then, which would align with this 1 hour order block, but we'll see. We've got quite a bit of momentum. We may just break through these lows and head downwards. So I think there's a bit of a bearish bias there, favoring a bearish bias. We may get small bullish moves, maybe from sell side liquidity in these lows, or if we get a pullback early, but I think I'll personally be waiting for some POY to be taken. So either to come up to this POY, show us some structure to go lower, this 1 hour price draw as well for us to go long from, I think would be good. In saying that, let's go down to the 15-minute and see what opportunities are available for today. Cool, so again we have that 1 hour order block POY above, and we have the 1 hour order block POY below. Now price seems to be drawn bearish. As I said, it's slightly favoring that bearish momentum. We look to be heading for this possible weak internal 1 hour low and possibly drawn into this 1 hour POY hit. Price has obviously just seen some momentum in the market. It may leave behind some sort of order block. I'm sure it has on the M5. My only problem with this area here is it may be respected, but we've also got that draw above. So you may see price just pull back to this, mitigate it and continue lower. I think that's up for debate and valid. If we go down to the M5, we could see this as some sort of internal buy side liquidity sweep. We've definitely broken structure here, and we could get a pullback to the order block. I would say pretty much continuing with order flow. I would call it like an order flow continuation more than anything. So stop loss just above the high, right, for like 4 pips or whatnot. And then you could aim for the lows or that order block. You may see some sort of support from these lows. So I don't think it's the worst of ideas, having looked at the M5 just briefly. But we have that danger of price being drawn above towards this Asian midline where this 1 hour POY is. But looking at price, it's going to smash this sell side liquidity here. So I probably wouldn't take it on the pullback. Would see how price closes out. Probably maybe look for price to go into that POY as I mentioned and see what goes from there. I don't want to take any unnecessary risk. So having said that, that's just something that's on my mind. As soon as this low goes, this SMC goes obviously. So I'm discounting this a little bit at the moment. So what would I want to see for something high probability? I'm going to try and stick to that rather than all of these random use cases where price may happen. Right, price comes down into this area, as I mentioned yesterday, I'm going to want to see structure. I'm going to want to see possible sell side liquidity swept internally to sponsor a move above, breaking of structure, and then we might get our corrective pullback down to our lower time frame POI to continue higher. Now that's going to look like this. Break of structure, sell side liquidity swept, pullback, possible inducement above our order block with imbalance to go long with our stop loss just below the low. I'm going to want to see something like that. And like I said, I'm going to want to see the inverse if this area holds as possible resistance. So I'm going to want to see price come into this area. Maybe it will sweep itself, break down, and then we get that lower time frame pullback to an order block or imbalance to go down. That's how that would look. That's our liquidity sweep internally, break of structure somewhere around here, pull back with inducement somewhere around here, possibly order block with imbalance, possibly around here to go short, stop loss just above the high. So that's just me using the 1 hour POIs as possible resistance, right? We haven't broken this high yet. For all we know, this is now a week low sort of situation. Okay, if this doesn't hold, it may not hold if price is wishing to continue with our high time frame bearish trend from this area. But I am still favoring, that this will provide some sort of support. Again, this may happen, but we like using POIs. We like the higher time frame POI areas to provide support and resistance from. And then we see structure shift from those areas, which gives us confidence. So that's what I like to see personally. So I hope everything was clear. I hope you gained value from that. Any questions, let me know in the comments. Remember to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys soon.